Hello and welcome back to another episode. Today we are out at the Witch's Village just showing what happened last time. So we made this plan here. That's the wrong button, that's the one I want to do. So we made this plan for the village, building this pentagram and dotting out some rough paths and places where buildings are going to go. We're not going to be doing anything here today. I just wanted to show you what happened last time and a little bit more progress I'm making in clearing the trees. I'm just working on my way through getting rid of all of the trees so that we can then put our own forest in these gaps here. As one of the things I want to do before getting onto this project here is kind of terraform the river a little bit nicer so I can then start work on bringing the forest in so that we've got a complete backdrop for the village before we kind of get anywhere with that. But today we are back in the factory. So with the clap of my hands, I'm going to do something really cringe. And we're going to teleport there in 3, 2. Wow, we've made it to the factory. That was really cool. And let's stop that. So the factory has been a couple of weeks. Where are we in the stuff? So honey farm. We need blaze and copper. We need glass. We need wheat. We need paper. We need bricks. We need skulk. Okay, so those are the ones to get this portion of the factory going. We've obviously got our list in our to-do list here, which has all of them, including like the quality of life ones, but those are the ones that we need to get the actual factory itself fully productive. And I think the most important one that we need to do right now is going to be, drum roll please, God I'm awkward, the paper. Wow, that's going to be cool. So at the moment, paper is going to be used for purely lecterns, and then when we get the crafting module in for rockets, then it'll be rockets as well. Okay, because I really want those rockets to be auto crafted for me, as we got plenty of gunpowder. Wherever it is, it's miles down here next to the paper. There we go, plenty of gunpowder, as you can see. And we don't have the paper for the rockets themselves. We've got plenty of leather to make the books. So it's just all about getting that paper. Now, a couple different ideas for farm designs. We can either replicate what we got with our bamboo one and use fly machines. I don't want to do that. That's a pain in the ass. Fly machines are awkward, even if I have made it as protected as I can with this little guy in here. Do what he says, please. But yeah, just if their fly machines are going and I log out, it's donezo, and I've got to redo it. So we're going to avoid, that's a lot of slimes. We're going to avoid using fly machines, and we're instead going to use pistons and just push them individually. I've got literally everything I need being auto crafted, so why wouldn't I just do that? So let's have a look at the farm design, talk about it a little bit, and then build it nice and large. So here is the premise of the farm. So the way that sugarcane grows is that it needs water next to it to grow. So if there's no water on there, then it will not, well, if you update it, then it will break off. So the water is in this little side bit here, next to our mud. The reason we're using mud is so that items can pass through into the hoppers below. The glowstone's giving light. And the way that sugarcane grows is that the very top layer of it needs to receive however many in-game ticks, and then it will grow up one stage, and then it needs to receive again the same amount of ticks, and then it will grow again, then breaking itself when it goes into the observer, into the block, which Bud powers the piston, and it also powers the note block, which then updates the piston, because without the note block there, you can see it does not fire, which means we need that note block there in order for that piston to get that update. Okay, so that then breaks the sugarcane. Why not different designs? So why not a design where if any bit of sugarcane reaches that third layer, then it will break any others that are too high as well. The reason for this is a little bit of efficiency, because if you're at 2 layers and then it's broken before it reaches that third, then there's a lot of wasted time in there. Okay, so you can fix this either by only breaking level 2 ones, so you're detecting at level 2 and then breaking at level 2, which just makes things a little bit more complicated because you kind of got to read off of above or break from above, and it just makes the redstone slightly more awkward with how you're doing things. I mean, it's not that bad, but it is slightly more expensive. So that is why it's slightly more efficient to do it this way, where you're only breaking the one block with that. And I'm not doing flying machines because flying machines are a pain, and we've got a set of flying machines for the bamboo. So we're going to stick with this design. We're making literally everything, so it doesn't matter. The only thing we're not making in the factory is mud. So we're going to go and gather that now. So we have got our lovely little box of mud. I've also gathered up a few more materials to put into our storage system. So we've got our mangrove wood, our mud, and our muddy mangrove roots now in there. We've got our leaves and roots in there as well. So we're just slowly ticking away at what items are in our storage system. This one we can cross off another one soon. We can fill up our slime blocks, and we've got our sculk there. We've got a lot of stuff still to tick away at, but just every little helps in making progress with that. So where's our sugarcane farm going to go? I'm feeling over here in this back bit here. We've got a nice big amount of space here, so we can do quite a few layers of this. I'm thinking we're going to go 32 blocks long, and that way it's the same length, or it'll take a stack of items to fill up each segment. We can infinitely expand it. And this farm here is 31 blocks, so what we can do is center off of that and then have I mean, it'll be slightly off, but it'll look slightly better than not having it. But we can line it up with both our iron farm and this whole row of farms here, and then it's in line with the middle of the factory as well. And then we'll have our water stream will go this way. And of course, we are going to need to craft paper out of the crafting system because we do not need sugar. We're getting plenty of that, enough there. So the collection system collects all the sugarcane, we craft it into paper, paper gets spat out into the water stream, and then it goes and joins up with the paper storage here, and then it then gets crafted into books, bookshelves, and then lanterns. Lanterns? No, lecterns. Close enough, but not quite. And then eventually we're going to get that rocket crafter in. So that's the plan for now. Let's get into our first couple of layers. So the sugarcane farm level 1 is in. I'm going to leave it as just one level for now. We're going to see how much we get in. If we need to supply extra, then I can always build up a few more layers. I've left it a little bit of a while, so there's been a bit of a backlog, and I've turned on the crafting units so that we're starting to craft some books now. Okay, so if we come under here, for those of you that are unfamiliar with what this is my auto crafting factory. I'm crafting every single redstone component that I need. The paper is useful for our lecterns here, and the way that it works is that paper is stored up here along with leather as well, because we need that for the books, and we need the wood for the bookshelves and the slabs then to make the lecterns. So what happens is that below, paper and leather gets dispensed out into this water stream, and then the water stream flies up to the top here. It then goes through these crafters here. These crafters over here are for books and bookshelves. So let's just swap over into spectator so that I can look in containers and make things a little bit easier to explain. So here we're accepting paper and leather, and then below we have a book crafter. That then flows down into the storage where we are then crafting up the books. That then goes all the way down into the same system that we have for the other ones, where it will then spit out the books, and then they can then be recycled back up, where they will then come into here and craft up bookshelves. So that'll take a little bit of a while for a backlog, because we need to craft up a full shulker box first. That there is kind of the system. What we then want to do is, when we're full of stuff, so when we've got a shulker box in this barrel, which means we've got this hopper full, down below is full, we want to stop crafting stuff. So these redstone lines here that are all quite funky and color coded are the disabled request lines. So if we come over to here, we can see that our leather one is this line here of stripped spruce logs. So as we can see that this torch here is off, this piston is retracted, which means that currently that bulb is on and it is requesting leather. We now need to do that for the sugarcane line. So what we're going to do is that we are going to just take off of this line here, as there's nothing else that needs leather. It is purely just the books. So once the books are finished, then our paper will be finished as well. What we'll need to do in the future when we add on our rocket autocrafter, which we might do today, not sure on that front yet, but we will then need to come in and add an AND gate so that we can disable this line here. So let's go have a look in our system, and I'm going to need a piston, and I've got all of the other stuff needed as well. I forget that they were so close, so I grabbed quite a bit of wool to kind of show that that's our line. So as you can see, these two here are our leather and our paper. So if we come underneath here, all we really need to do from here is just to power a piston in line with that, and then whenever this then turns off, then it will stop requesting. Let's see what's going to be the best way to do this. All right, so nice and simple. We just connected up from this block here. We can't connect from here because that needs to be powered there. So we just connected this redstone line up here, and of course there's going to be another line coming in from the firework crafter, which will then go into this, where we'll just pop in an AND gate. So that way that if either of these, well, we can simulate it just by powering that there. So if both of these are off, then that means that we would have a full amount of books and a full amount of rockets, and then that would then extend that piston, which would then turn off the bulb and stop requesting paper through the dropper, because that dropper is locked. So that is kind of the system and how that works, and how it needs to work for future ones as well. Okay, so it is time to get our rocket crafter in. It is different to these crafters in the way that we're designing it. So let's grab a few resources. So what's different about this system here is that I want it to, well, I want to be able to walk up to it. I can either take the box, or I can just take a stack of rockets or whatever, and then it's going to continue to fill up. So what we're going to have is we're going to have the box is going to sit kind of here, and then we're going to have it filling up from two hoppers, because that's just more efficient. So it's here. So if I need rockets, I just come up, grab this box, and then I've got another box in my ender chest, so I can just keep swapping them over, which is similar to what we've got over there for our ethos storage system. So that's kind of what we're going to do there. This means that we don't need a shulker loader. We just simply need this crafting module up the top here. So pretty simple. And we're going to also do this for our golden carrots, as this is going to be our quality of life crafter side. So shall we have a look in our book, see what other options we've got for quality of life crafters. So we've got ender chests, which is an interesting one, because I don't want to have a full shulker box of ender chests, because I won't be getting that much obsidian through, because that's 3 stacks of ender chests. So in order to get a shulker box, that is a lot. If you could take out from decorated pots, then I'd probably do that, but because you've got to smash them, it's a whole thing. So potentially just having just a hopper, because that only has 5 slots, of course, that you can take out from. So that's a lot less of those that we need. The other one I remember seeing is scaffolding, which, yeah, I think I'll put in. We'll need to make an adjustment to the bamboo farm so that we actually get some raw bamboo, because at the moment it's all planks. So we'll do that with scaffolding. So we'll do an extra one of those there. So we can have a scaffolding box. We can collect from above. We'll have to adjust the water stream slightly, I believe, but that shouldn't be too hard to sort out. So we're going to still be picking up with hoppers. We're going to continue using this design here. So what happens is, where's a good example of it? So here it is reading off of the ingredients here. So we have the ingredients all being stacked up there. Now when it is full, it's going to detect a change here. Usually this redstone block here is retracted so that it is powering a signal of 14 over this observer. So when that hopper's full, you go to 15, the observer detects that, and then it crafts something there. When we finish crafting as many as we want, then this extends, blocking this signal at 15. So that means even when this is full, then it won't craft still. So that's the system that we're putting in. It's the same system as I've used for literally every crafting module that we've got in the factory, other than dispensers, because they are a pain because of the unstackable item that is popped in the middle there. So that's kind of our plan there. I would do it on camera, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to embarrass myself yet again. Okay, so our crafting modules are in. You can see they are starting to work now. We are filling up those boxes. So what happens is that the items come in to the crafting module at the top. It's the same one that we've got everywhere else. And then when they backlog into this barrel, it's going to send a signal out, and it is going to extend the redstone block and then lock the crafter. The redstone lamp here is for restarting the crafter when it is finished, because what happens is that the hoppers fill up, and then this redstone line here is stuck on at 15, so we need to just craft it once when this barrel empties so that it can restart again and not get stuck. What I haven't done, that I now realise that I haven't done, is I haven't done that system for our crafting resources thing. So you can see those observers there, missing one there as well, but those ones there, they need to have something to turn them back on. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix that with exactly the same system. We're going to put in a redstone lamp in front of these, and then we're just going to connect to it via a repeater coming off of here, because all we need to do is update it when this changes. So that's all we need to do there. The other things that we need to do for this system is fully functional, other than actually farm some of the resources, is getting these in down below. So what we've got to do is we've got to get our line for paper, gunpowder. We're going to need to connect up our golden nuggets, our carrots, and also our string and bamboo. So those are the 6 lines we need to come up with. And how to connect to, we kind of need to come off of the back here of these torches, so it's a little bit awkward being so much higher up, but then we need to connect to some existing lines as well as coming through and adding on to the non-existing ones as well. So creating some, I would have liked to have done orange wool for carrots, but I've got its blaze powder, I think. Yeah, blaze powder, because I've got, whatever. I'll come up with things. I just got to connect all of these things up, and then that then gets our logic in and our requesting. So at the moment, I've currently disabled our book crafter. As you can see, this redstone block's extended, but this piston has not. So I've just done that so that I could get a backlog of rockets and make sure that this system here is all going to work. Okay, so that's the plan. Let's get this redstone spaghetti mess even messier. Spaghetti mess achieved. So you can see we're bringing them down from up there, and then they join up with wherever they need to on here. Some lines kind of cross over each other, like for our golden carrots, it's the only thing that requests carrots and golden nuggets, or well, either of them. So I've just connected them via the same line So just it makes things easier, and it just goes kind of all over the shop, really. So now what we've got to do is that we now need to get a source of bamboo so that we need to get a source of the raw bamboo so that we can start actually making our scaffolding, because at the moment all of our bamboo that we farm is going to be converted straight into planks. So what we need to do is that we are going to take an output out of the back of this bamboo barrel here, so that if there is a shulker box of bamboo in the barrel, then we are then going to connect it up to this logic gate over here, which is what controls whether the farm is on or whether it is off based on if we need bamboo planks or not. So we're going to connect it up. Then we're going to come over to here. We're going to have some hoppers running below, and then they're going to go into droppers into their own ice line, which will then join up with all the other ones. And we need to disable these hoppers if we have enough bamboo in the system. So we're going to be pulling out from underneath here, and just got to make sure that there is no way that we are going to get these. Yeah, that should be all right. If we just directly power the hoppers, then that should be all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We're just going to do it on one side. So we're still going to be making up bamboo planks even when we're just getting regular bamboo. And oh well, doesn't matter. So the reason I'm not doing it on this side is because this side fuels our stone smelters. So I don't want any bamboo getting into here, because we might as well just use the planks for the smelting. So we're just going to do it on this side. So we've got one nice big line to run, and then we can join up with the kind of motherboard system here and connect up with the rest of the farm over there. So our bamboo logic redstone has been put in. So when that barrel has something in it, which will be a shulker box full of bamboo, this line there turns on, comes all the way over here. It then turns off this torch, which then means that if all of these torches are off, then the bamboo farm will shut off. It also then comes over the top here, and it comes onto this line. And this line here is powering this piston, which is causing this clock to be active, which will then spit out any bamboo that is in these droppers. So the design here has changed. I've gone from locking these hoppers here to just not activating the droppers. So what we'll see is that the whole thing will have to back up before we start then creating planks again, which is fine. It's a fine solution to the problem, because it's a little bit dense in here. Yes, I could have done maybe fit it in, but you know, I definitely could have fit it in, but it's just a lot easier to do it this way, and we'll just end up with a backlog of stuff. You know, no biggie, no problems. So they all spit out into this water line here, which goes over here and then joins up with the one that takes it from the iron farm and then over into the system. So now we have that bamboo all set up. We can go and have a look. No, we can't. So now the problem is string. I don't have enough string kicking about. Yeah, that means that I need to go and run the bartering setup to get some string, which will also get us some other materials needed, because string is at the moment the only thing we're really lacking on, as we're missing a thing of dispensers. So that's a lot of string there. String over there is full. And then of course our scaffolding. Next time, Max has a go at himself while editing. He has 5 slots, of course, that you can take out from. Oh my, how many times does this guy say, just shut up, mate, you know what you... So there... shut it. Max uninstalls replay mode. So flashback here, and who needs replay mod anymore when you've got flashback? Oh yeah, baby, flashback is the future. And goes insane. I am sick and tired of birch leaves. Look at this. This is over 100,000 birch leaves. What on earth? So another episode back in the factory done. We added on a few extra crafters. We're now crafting paper, and we've got that quality of a life stuff involved as well. We're not quite getting the golden carrots just yet. We don't have that carrot farm, but when we get that in, the crafting system is already set up for it to go. So overall quality of life improved, and just slowly keeping that factory ticking forwards, making sure that we're keeping that progress. Now, next episode, I think we're very good striking this balance between the building episodes and the redstone episodes. So we're going to go back to the building project next episode, where we can work on some terraforming, as I've got a nice idea for that, before we come back to the factory again in the future to get some funds in. So if you have enjoyed, please leave a like. If you've got anything you want to say, put it in the comments. Even James and Josh, you're allowed to do it this time. Comment below. Wow, I'm so kind to you, aren't I? If you have enjoyed, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Wouldn't that be a shame to miss that one? Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas.